Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another stream. We left off and we were just setting up the control systems and all of that for switching and things inside of the oil setup. So basically, what needs to happen now is I will go and do stuff with plumbing. Yes, we'll become plumbers. We need metal. We need paintable pipes. Ducts. These ones. Paintable coated ducts. So aluminum and steel. I need to find steel. Where do I put steel? It usually is in this. Thank goodness, there is actually steel. That would be a real bummer if there was no steel. Be a real bummer. It's okay. It's okay. Redstone fluid valves are done. This is all for switching, by the way. So this means it's literally for the purpose of just being like, oh hey, we need this to go this way. We need this to go here. Just for switching. If you did not already know, that is what I am doing, is making switches. These will allow us a lot of stuff that we can do. What the heck is this? Is that the default one? I don't think so. Oh yeah, that would actually be the... Wait a second. If you use your brain, you can see that... This is the way to go. This is the way to do this. The only issue is now I have to figure out how the heck I am going to do this. Can this work? We will see. I think this will work. I couldn't say this works perfectly, but this looks like it would work. Jesus Christ. What the heck? And when this hits max, when this hits 15, it will flip the switch on the bottom and it will go and start shooting oil this way. That allows me to effectively avoid all kinds of stupidity inside of the oil setup. That, my friends, is what we are all about. Avoid stupidity. Create massive industrial assembly line. Win. Stupidity is the worst thing available. And it's available in large quantities at most places. Gonna throw my dirt in the ground. And then on top of that, grass, dirt, grass, dirt, grass, dirt. I guess I'm gonna place down stone bricks underneath this. I don't know at this point. I mean, we do have more dirt. That is always an option. Cannot forget, I have entire chests dedicated to dirt. Yeah, no, I'm not doubling this thing back on itself. That'd be stupid. So yeah, there we go. This will become light oil for diesel and kerosene, which this will break into the cracking for those. For light oil and kerosene. Those are the biggest things we need to deal with. Light oil and kerosene. Well, diesel and kerosene. With diesel right here and heating oil right here. We have heating oil in this one and engine lubricant in this one. And then it's all about getting those pipes to where they need to be. And then dealing with the heating oil. The diesel will come out this side. Alright, so we can just make a diesel pipeline. Boom. Diesel. Heating oil. Remember, there's a lot to this, so when we set this up, we'll have to consider how are we going to deal with kerosene, diesel, and everything. Everything has the need to be dealt with, so we need to figure those out. Shift F9 twice will give you the borders, tell you where you can build and stuff. So for what I'm looking for, we want to fit everything in 2 chunks, but with those cokers, I'm going to have those in a separate chunk probably. Or in that one there, but I want to try to use that one for storage of different petrochemicals, so. Really, we're probably going to end up in one of those or that chunk there for cokers. With those 2 or that one. Unless we have space. You can make it fit, but I don't really want to try making something that's going to look too ugly. So, I mean, we could just pipe the materials all the way over there. Start setting up all of our catalytic cracking towers on this one area. Keep it organized. And I have no idea how I place these. Okay. And we need one in this chunk, or one right here. But we will start with the diesel. Since diesel actually goes there, and probably is going to be, yeah, it's probably going to be in the way when it has to go through the ground. Yeah, that leaves a space for the heating oil. And then I could just go boom, 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 pipe. Diesel. Sure, there's other uses for diesel. Let's look at diesel. See if we don't have to just crack it and see if I can do other stuff to get chemicals from it. Coker naphtha 59. High cetane diesel. Is it supposed to be octane? It says cetane. We're in the space age. Stop thinking in the past. What do the heck does the words mean? Well, the words mean a lot. They mean something very simple. Think about the future and let's forget about this, how we used to do it. Because the way we used to do it sucks. And the new way we could do it is so much better. Because all of these products at the end of the day are just good for one thing. I send them to the coker and tell them to be coke. And then get the naphtha and other products afterwards. That is the ultimate way of running this setup. You don't have to keep cracking everything because you're only getting petroleum gas at that point. If we start coking things, there's a lot to look at with coking them. So for example, diesel can go become coker naphtha, which can go to become reformant and reformant gas and liquid hydrogen. All 3 things we need in some capacity for natural gas processing and other things. Reformant then is able to be cracked down into unsaturated hydrocarbons and reformant gas. So there's that. Or you can do coking that as well, but I wouldn't recommend that. Or you could do this to get BTX and aromatic hydrocarbons. Fractioning. Ooh, you can make high cetane diesel. This is super useful, but I'm not even sure if it's really worth it. What I was really interested in with this is when you put it through the coker unit, you then have the naphtha. So the naphtha then can be churned. Coker naphtha can be processed through this setup to go back. But that kind of sucks. It does really suck. Because then you end up with cracked naphtha, which means you need to process that. And it gives you heating oil and cracked diesel. I mean, that would be stupid. Okay. Never mind. Disregard. Because that is actually just the worst way of doing it. And you go do that, you're either going to have to build a reformer, which I don't want to build more reformers. And yeah. Do you want to build more reformers that cost arsenic chipsets and things and stupidity? It's unreal. It's unreal. I mean, we could make a really nice setup if we did that. But is it good to have a nice setup? Or is it gooder to have something that functions well? So anyway, the kerosene, we can probably do stuff with that as well. I mean, yes, we could reform it. That'd be like the future, but it's going to cost a lot more energy. And yeah, no. The whole point of this setup is that it doesn't cost much energy. It shouldn't cost much energy and should make all of the basic essential chemicals needed for us to do the jobs we need to do. Whatever they may be. And be able to do them in a huge capacity. Yeah, no, this has only got a few usages. That's cracking, so everything needs to be cracked, or radiolysis, or this needs to be sent to Purex to go do chemistry. So, yeah, kerosene's pretty useless. Alright, I think I can see how this will work. I will have one right here. This one will handle the process of oil to the next thing. Okay, now if I go down a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. And I go to here, place this in, and I can go to here. There we go. It's light oil, kerosene. So we have diesel, which is what we're working on. This is the diesel pipe, correct? Yes. So that would mean diesel gets cracked for what it's worth. I mean, we've already looked at the alternative for that. It is not bad. I mean, what does kerosene give you if you were to... I don't think you can even do kerosene inside of the machine. Anyway, what's going to happen is basically this guy will be like, oh, we have too much... Or no, this guy will be like, we have too much light oil at this time. Please activate the machine to send it to this thing. Boom. This gets sent into there. So if this guy says we have too much light oil, it'll do its job. If this guy says we have too much naphtha, then this one will turn on. So this one will be active. So pretty much either way, if any of these are overflowing and not being used for producing materials, they will be sent to be processed down to petroleum gas. Oh no, this is bothersome. How do I like things? I like them to look nice. I like them to be perfect. I can't just have this not looking nice and perfect, okay? You see, if it's even one block off, it will make the entire build messed up and not functional. just because it's not perfect. It needs to be exactly how I need it to be. So heating oil, bitumen, industrial oil. I think we deal with bitumen already, yes. So all we have left after that is industrial oil, which is something to look into. How do you do industrial oil? Any recommendations are acceptable at this time, though I may not even act on them. We will see how industrial oil works. Alright, so cracking it gets you to naphtha and petroleum gas. That is not too bad. If you have 7,900, you can get 790 coker oil. And as I've stated, coker oil is absolutely stupid. Oh. We just seem to be doing the fractioning method. Fractioning. Okay, it's dealt with. So we just need heating, the engine lubricant to be dealt with, and that's done. And also heating oil. Heating oil can go somewhere, but yeah. We only need one coker unit for this entire setup, and heating oil is the only thing I need a coker unit for. Which is very typical, because it's so useless and so annoying. It's practically the most abundant chemical available to us. Holy crap, how many pipes were in this thing? This is like the world's largest amount of over-complexity. Why did we build such a terrible machine? Such a terrible factory here. This is bad. Okay, well, let's not focus on it being bad. Let's go ahead and see what it uses for fuel. Cool gasoline. Cool. I like coal gasoline and I like it a lot. It's gonna be helpful for us. The reason everything runs coal gasoline is because I don't want to deal with it in any other capacity. So basically, I'm saving myself a lot of hassle to not have the coal gasoline be doing dumb stuff. And just getting clogged and being in the way. Which is good, because I don't want to have to deal with it. The other thing we can use coal gasoline for is probably powering the actual water supply. However, for that, you can just do a solar boiler since these guys will be able to handle it anyway, and the amount of steam you get is more than enough. Now, this takes the setup that was 4 chunks over here and literally puts it into 2 chunks. This is so much better than the other setup. You have to look and see, oh, you can do it better. And yes, you can. This is away from all of the borders and everything, so nothing could go wrong with this that I can see at this time. We'll place in the heating oil pipeline. Since heating oil is the most useless, it will get sent through here. Now, heating oil is one thing, and then the other thing is engine lubricant, which has a dual purpose, but in this case, we have 2 options with this. We can either switch it A, for the production of solvents, B, to be sent to the combined cycle gas turbine in power plant, or in oil setup number 1. So we have 2 options with this. But my personal favorite option is to just create a switch that will handle that problem. So we'll figure that out at some point, probably in a few seconds. The other big things we need to think of are getting all of the products where they need to be. So remember, if this has too much light oil, it will start making petroleum gas. Ooh, petroleum gas and, kerosene. And that kerosene is very useless, so it's just more petroleum gas. Basically, we're turning everything into petroleum gas because I don't want to deal with it as it currently is because there's no use for diesel other than energy for me. And then I don't need that. I don't need energy because I have a massive combined cycle gas turbine power plant, which produces more than enough energy to power 3 electrolyzers and everything. And it can pile up fuel and energy very easily. So I don't really need that. It's good. So, the biggest thing with this is the actual placement of this thing. This will be coal oil? Coal gasoline? Coal gasoline. It is coal gasoline, right? It's not, obviously it's not leaded coal gasoline because that would require tetraethyl lead anti-knock agent. So we don't need that. Which used to be put in cars. Tetraethyl lead. Used to be put in gasoline to help the engines run better. But it was super bad for the environment and put lead into the air. So the coal gasoline is here. And we'll see how much of a pain this piping is. Oh, hey, look, it's literally just a straight shot to here. But this could complicate the potential steam pipeline. So we're going to go ahead and grab all of the steam stuff and start working on those, because the steam takes precedence over coal gasoline. It's got a lot more pipes, okay? It's a lot more pipes to deal with steam than it is to deal with coal gasoline, apparently. So the coal gasoline, what is this? Why do we just have so much coal coke sitting here? Is this to power the boiler? Well, the boiler doesn't need this anymore. It's powered by coal gasoline. That's just completely insane. We have done things way more efficiently to the point where now everything is powered by coal gasoline. We still have so much here because of how overly stupid this was and how we could have done this effectively, but we chose not to. That was a choice. We were like, yeah, let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do this. Make all of the cool ideas, right? I had all the ideas in the world. But you see, the thing is I did not recognize that, well, maybe this idea isn't necessarily the best idea. So we'll go ahead and vein miner all of these. And this one. And this one. Oh, and the ground too. Yes. That's perfect. You see, vein mine the grounds. This will make everything so simple. Make it extra complex. Well, actually, the ground is also collapsing too. I forgot to mention that. Because we run the fracking tower, eventually all of the dirt we place that's just floating in the air is going to just fall. Which is amazing and wonderful. It's part of the game. Pretty much, it's just a feature of the game. It's a feature of the game. No grass will grow, and all of the dirt will fall into the ground. And if you have any plants, say goodbye to them, as it will all be replaced with dead, oily dirt. Hooray! Alright, so we have to have two things. A steam condenser and a steam boiler. The steam condenser, let's go ahead and place it, how do I want to do this? There's like 2 billion options. Oh, place it there. We'll place the dirt here. So that means at the start, we have less piping, but at the end, still have the same amount of piping as we would need. Basically, this will handle water. Water will get sent to here. Steam gets sent out at the top. down to here. Pretty basic stuff. Now this needs to connect into every single cracking tower. Now that sounds like it's a hard task to do, but I can assure you this is the most basic HBM task available. So basic, we should be able to do it quite simply. So low pressure, steam goes to here. Boom, boom, boom. Now switch to cold gasoline. Set it to steam. Shift, click, and you have an entire steam pipe. This takes water. It goes and becomes steam and goes into here. Distribution is not hard. Keep in mind that with this setup, we have a lot of options to distribute all of the substances. So this needs to go through the ground, above where my coal gasoline is going to be. Since now I can actually set up the coal gasoline pipe, I can do that right now. So set it back to coal gasoline. Shift click. Boom. Look at it. It's all coal gasoline. Now if I go back here, I can go ahead and say, yes, steam. Steam. We could set up sensors, but that would just be like excessive and uncalled for. There's no reason to be like, oh hey, we need steam at this time. We need steam at this pipe setup. You can do that if you want, but me personally, I see that as not being required. It's not a requirement. This does not need that at all. It really doesn't. It just needs the most basic stuff you can imagine. This can function really simply if you just give it the most simple setup. You don't need a thing that tells it to go, oh hey, we have oil, go ahead and inject steam. We have oil, inject or extract low pressure. No, you don't need that. You don't need a setup that does that. That would just be dumb and overcomplicated. The fact that I thought of it existing is incredibly dumb too. That is disappointing. Oh yes, let's add a sensor to the low pressure thing. No, it's so simple. Simplicity is everything, so we gotta keep things simple. And speaking of keeping things simple, don't do that. It will make everything extra complicated. We could just do a kerosene pipe here, and that will cover the task. The rest of this, easy peasy. Just, we have to dig it out. Do a connection. Ah! We need to do... Why did I come here? What was I thinking of? I just lost my entire train of thought in 5 seconds. Oh my gosh. You know, I just gotta concentrate on one task and forget what happened yesterday. It was stupid. It's not going to help to think about the past, okay? It just makes things worse. Just makes things worse. Gotta set up the oil. That's all that matters. All that matters is the oil right now, okay? All that matters is oil. Nothing else matters. Oh, I need pipes. See, pipes are what matters at this time. Nothing else matters, okay? Nothing. Nothing matters except for piping. Piping the oil. Yes. Ooh, engine lubricant. 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 How many pipes did I use back in the day? Probably like 6 billion. But I need 6 billion for the engine lubricant as well. So. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to get the engine lubricant to the solvent production setup. But that's okay. We'll see how that works out in the end because it's gonna be an absolute pain. It's literally gonna be the logistical nightmare of all logistical nightmares. It's going to be the peak logistical nightmare. The most terrifying. Hope you like logistics because we're about to do 5,000. Logistics. Yes, what an accurate measurement. This is so good. Thank you for the measurement of all time. I will be... I don't know. Okay, time to make a connection for my oil. I know why I was here. I have to connect this. Ah! The piping looks really complex, but I can assure you, this is like the least complex. Low pressure steam, just to double check and make sure it's not coal oil or something weird. No weirdness is going on. Ah! This is awesome. Steam? Oh yes, this is a steam pipe. Yeah, that connects. Ooh. It's gonna look good. I'm gonna do this just for the sake of aesthetics. Purely aesthetic reasons. This does not actually have to be done this way. It doesn't actually have any benefit to do it this way either. So if you do it this way, you're just getting a little bit extra piping in there. Which, I mean, if you want extra piping, hey, this might be up your alley. But really, I don't want extra piping. You don't want extra piping. Let's avoid all the extra piping and all the extra hassle. Make it done right. But this is fine. I like the way it looks. It looks like it's meant to be like that. And this looks super complex, but it's actually like the most simple way of setting things up. Kerosene now, before we forget about it, kerosene needs to be dealt with. And finally, it's the time we've been waiting for. The moment of all time. Oh, hey, this does take up 4 chunks, but really the bulk of it's in 2 chunks. The biggest bulk of oil is in 2 chunks. These other ones are just for petrochemistry. This one for the start of it. So really it's like 2-3 chunks. But honestly, if you really wanted to, as long as you build vertically, you could fit it all in 1 chunk. It's going to look weird, but yeah, you could probably do it, and it's probably not going to be the most efficient thing. This covers looks and efficiency. It looks like it's meant to be an oil setup, instead of some stupid, overcomplicated mess of 5,000 machines that are jumbled together with no organization, nothing like that. See, that is when you know that you failed, because all of your oil is just what are you even doing? You have no room to adapt. You have no room to look at what you can do with it and stuff like that. So that's why I always set up my oil to look nice and clean. A lot of times I didn't, and then I'd be afterwards redesigning it 3 times. But this way, you don't have to redesign it. You can just repipe one thing, or you can see the pipe and be like, I know exactly where it's at, know exactly what I'm doing. So there is effective ways of doing oil, and that is to be super organized and make it look decent. Because I like things to look nice, so that's my primary goal. Getting things to look nice. Then this needs to be cold gasoline, by the way. Okay, so that means everything is set. It's all put together, ready to go. We just need to fill in some things with dirt and then start looking at our byproducts that we cannot really use. The first big byproduct is going to be aromatic hydrocarbons. It's really, really important that we get these into a chemical plant so we can make bakelite. It's really useful. It's probably the most useful material we are going to make. The other thing is, what is this? Engine lubricant, which that's just a simple pipeline here for engine lubricant, and then just start digging a pipe out of here. This pipe will go to the solvent setup, solvent production. Pretty much that's going to take a while for me to set up, but it will go to solvent production, and that's where we're going to start. Okay, so yeah, solvent production for HP high performance solvent. Okay. So this will get connected. We'll do that at a later date once we see how many pipes we have left over. Biggest thing is these aromatic hydrocarbons. They need to go to the setup all the way here. Oh my gosh. 5 billion kilometers away. Ridiculous. It's okay. We have enough time to probably figure out how we're going to get there. Hopefully there's no pipes in the... There's going to be redstone in the way, probably. I'm guessing that's going to stop us. We're going to be like, hopefully there's no pipes in the way. Redstone. Boom. Get hit in the face with redstone. Take a left. Nope, keep going. Take a right. Yes, perfect. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Fill it in. Fill it in. Fill it in. Alright, so remember this is aromatic hydrocarbons, and then if you use aromatic hydrocarbons, it goes here. Whole thing, aromatic hydrocarbons, all the way to the end. And this is getting like too much of like pipes over pipes, and then you just see this. Oh my goodness. 3 pipes underground. This is starting to look interesting. I mean, it's looking beautiful. It's the way I would want it to look. Chemistry right there. These both produce petroleum gas. The beauty of this is that I won't have any other byproducts to pipe out of here because kerosene just goes right into here. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. It's exactly what I could hope for. Exactly what I want to see. And then it's gonna just flow through here. It's literally just the same as the other pipe. It just goes. It just does its thing. Just let it do its thing. It will go do stuff. Now, the lovely thing with this is that we need to stop piping it. Because there's a thing with petroleum gas. If I have too much petroleum gas, what can I do with petroleum gas to destroy it and get rid of it? Well, I'm glad you guys asked because I have all of the answers to that question. We will just create one of these switches with another comparator and send it to oblivion. It's not hard. It's not hard. But I will show you how to do it. It's very simple, very basic task. We should be able to do this pretty easily. If we have redstone. Yes. Do we have stone? Yes, stone. Okay. Simply put, if I want to pipe it, I need a barrel. Which means I need all the things I just put away. 1 of those and 8 of these. Remember how these are done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place it in, and you have this, boom, steel barrels. Doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. It's easy. Too easy. This will go over and be set into the pipe here. And this is where things begin calculating how much we need. So we'll have, remember how math works? You can literally sense 15, right? You can be like, oh, well, we have 15 sixteenths of oil, which is like, why are we measuring things in sixteenths now? I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's alcohol. Sixteenths? Is that even a measurement of alcohol? I don't know if it's a measurement of what gets measured in sixteenths. In tenths, or like something like, there's something that sounds like sixteenths. Okay, it's just a weird measurement. But I guess it's not like metric, so that's why it's weird. Not enough redstone because it's all been used in the other ones. And remember, this requires 15 redstone at a minimum, plus whatever you need for the switching circuit. So usually each of these probably costs like 23 or so redstone, somewhere between 20 and 23 redstone as a minimum. Unless you get smart with how you do it. Alright, this is really simple. We're going to make it super easy and really simple, okay? All at the same time, which shouldn't be. Those things usually don't go hand in hand, but this will. Boom. 2 sixteenths. No. 3 sixteenths. 4 sixteenths. Go up and we'll hit 5. 5 sixteenths. All right, with that done, we can start setting up the rest of this. This needs to be petroleum gas. So type in PET for petroleum gas, and then boom. The second this is full, it's going to send petroleum gas out a pipe, out the alternative pipe. So now it's all about going down. So make a space. We're at 7. We are at 5. Yes, this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sixteenths, 7 sixteenths. And down, you cannot use those slab blocks, so 7, or how many is that? 8? Yeah, because we had 8. 9 will be the next one. Then we can drop it down another block, 9 sixteenths. And then finally 10 sixteenths. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $11, $12, $13, $14. Shut up! Jesus. What are we doing? What is this again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5. Is this correct? Yes, 10. I'm at 10 with this. So do what? Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is the number. The magical number. What the heck am I even saying? There's the number. Magical number? What even is this? It just sounds like some kind of stupidity. We don't need rhymes. We need oil crimes or something. Something like that. Petroleum gas. Boom. Hey, does this work? It's supposed to work. It's so simple. It should work. If I change this with a lever, will this work? Good, good, good. Yes, we can see how simple this is. It's so basic. Let's see if that works. Ah, nice. Perfect. I like this a lot. I have no issues at this time. Yeah, and once it hits here, this guy needs to turn on this one. And let's go ahead and test that out. Let me show you how that works. Oh, look. We have 15. Oops. It's too much. Too much petroleum gas, I'm telling you. Whoosh. And then this guy will turn on. That's actually, like... Is that the best placement for that? Or could I place it under this one? This is the question of all time. This is the question of all time. Yeah, but I have to avoid that, so I can just go like this. And that actually does the job, if I'm correct. Yes, this will work. And then, obviously, test it again, just to make sure there's no problems. Switching. You have no issues. Switching. Perfect. The switching works, and then we're pretty much good to go. That means that one of these will be off when the other one's on, and then we have the default one set to be, oh, please make bakelite. The other one is to go ahead and send it to be burned into fuel, which is obviously my primary option, I would say. Primary, well, yeah, it's going to become the primary option. Because you see, we'll probably produce not enough aromatic hydrocarbons to keep up with petroleum gas. Because you can produce so much petroleum gas so fast. It doesn't matter how many aromatic hydrocarbons you produce. You're still going to need this at the end of the day. The other thing we have to deal with is this. This guy needs to have his stuff sent over there as well. And I need to deal with that. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit it in through all of that. So I guess this would be the way to go, is to pipe down here. You just go ahead and link up with these pipes and go the same direction. Go with the flow. Don't change anything, right? That's what we're going to do. Go with the flow and not change anything. Because stuff is stupid. Make no differences. Petroleum gas. Petroleum gas. Petroleum gas. Boom, boom. Yeah. You see, this is what I'm talking about. If we don't pay attention, we have stupidity where we try to pipe an extra pipe in there. But all we need is this. This is so simple. That's all we need. Hold on, let me see if I can actually. Okay, yeah, this looks like it needs to be. That looks like it fits. Does that look like it fits? Does it look like it connects on both sides? Does it actually connect on both sides? I don't even know. Yes, it does. Okay, perfect. It's good to see that it actually is connecting. Wonderful. This place looks odd, but that's because I have 5,000 different pipes underneath this thing. But I like the way this oil setup is coming along. It's going along nice. So that means all of my petroleum gas I produce will get sent to be turned into those. Do we need petroleum gas in other positions? We need unsaturated hydrocarbons. That's a product from over there. They can actually be. We can actually be like, we need unsaturated hydrocarbons. So this thing needs to have us a requester, not like a, oh, we have too much. And this guy needs to be able to request, hey, we don't have enough aromatic hydrocarbons in storage. Please send us more. So that's really easy to do. I can think of how I can do that. First, we need to check what we can. I think we should be able to use an iron barrel for this. They store 6,000, and you really wouldn't use these for much, like 8,000. But the thing is this is definitely gonna. We don't need to detect much. Okay, now 8,000. It's not a bad number, but like I prefer the 16,000s. So we can be like, oh, we need 6/16ths of this stuff instead of 4/8 or something like that, because you can't even get that number. I don't know. There's no practicality in the the 16,000s, but this might have been a better option to just use iron barrels for the entire plant. It would have saved us so much. But regardless, I like these better because they're more reliable. I'm trusting the steel barrels to not mess up. Trusting them a lot, so we will trust the steel barrels because I know they won't mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Something is on my mind right now. Amazing, wonderful. What do you mean this doesn't work? Oh, because I inverted the recipe. Wonderful. Inverse recipes. We'll have inverted barrels. They will be outside in. How would that even work? An outside... It's just a cylinder. You can't take it and make it inside out. It's impossible. There's literally no difference between the outside and the inside. Unless you have like a spigot or something. But that makes zero sense. Why would you have a spigot on a barrel? What is this, the bar? No. This is oil production plant. We don't have spigots on our barrels. That makes zero sense. Anyway. The requester will be like, hey man, I need plenty of unsaturated hydrocarbons. Can you please send me at least what you have to fill up all of the oil? And this means I don't need to have necessarily a buffer. I could be like, oh, we're not producing anything at this time. Let's have a nice buffer of like 8,000. So if this has stuff in it, it needs to be like, hey, please give us fluids. Otherwise, we'll have a default gate on here for this. So this will be on by default. This one will be on by default. The other one will be on. This is the worst positioning to set this up in because I now have to deal with, oh, I need to pipe from here. Also, we need to figure out the petroleum gas piping and getting it to where it needs to go. This is petroleum gas, yes. Alright, so we'll take a turn right here. Boom, 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 boom. Just keep digging the trench until we reach the end. And then I can connect it in with a pipe like this. Petroleum gas connects here. Now what happens is the petroleum gas goes and it will get sent in. Oh, hey, sulfuric acid is building up. We need to dispose of sulfuric acid somehow. But probably not at this moment. I'm more focused on actual things that matter right now. The sulfuric acid, we can have too much of it, and then we can just put a sewer drainage pipe and put it in the river. Doesn't matter. There's no EPA, they won't come after us, okay? And if they did, well, we have the world's greatest oil production. That probably means we are way too advanced for them to deal with. I mean, like, actually, genuinely way too advanced. What are they gonna do? Come here and try to raid HBM base? No. They don't even exist in Minecraft. What are we gonna do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do about it? Nothing. Cannot stop me from putting all of this sulfuric acid into the river. So, that's what we will do with it. And, actually, what effects does that have on the environment again? Corrosive liquid. I don't see anything that says polluting. That means this is safe to put in the river. Congratulations, we have figured out that it's not dangerous to dump our sulfuric acid into the river, probably melting every single fish and other creature that exists. I mean, sulfuric acid is pretty natural, actually. It's not like, it's not common in nature. So, like, I mean, it's literally just pyrite is getting turned into rust, basically. Yeah, so if this guy needs to be on by default, basically, but once he has stuff in him, so that's why this is a requester, because it's going to, if it's got nothing in it, it's going to be off, or if it's got something in it, it's going to be off. So it's not requesting when it's not getting stuff sent when it's on. So I'm going to just dig a pipe that's going to connect to there. All right, let's go. Connect the pipes, dude. Connect the cables. We will need repeaters at some point. But currently, no, not right now. This needs to go through the ground, too. This needs to go underneath this. And that will work because that's not going to have... Hopefully that works. I don't actually know if that's going to work or not. It should work. Should work, could work. But would this work? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Look at my capabilities. Oh, redstone engineer right here. Redstone engineer of all time. No others. Match. Okay. And now it's time to set up the actual switching circuits. The switching circuits basically means that by default we want it to be sent to here. If this guy has nothing in him. That way it doesn't create a logical equation or logical problem. So what I mean by logical problem is if you're sending a signal, right, and it's sending stuff into here, This is what I'm going to call a logical dilemma, where basically now this guy will be burning it no matter what. So if this guy is on by default, he will be burning it even when this guy is requesting. So what does that mean? Basically, that means that guy will never ever have the capability to actually receive any unsaturated hydrocarbons, and therefore this guy will constantly be in the burning state. So that is why we cannot have this one on by default. That is the reason I will not do that, because I am not stupid and have a little bit of foresight. But some people may see that as common sense. That is not really common sense. That is just how it is. Very basic stuff. Just use your brain. You can figure out a lot of things. And then the other thing with this is that we need to actually get the oil or unsaturated hydrocarbons piped out of there. So we'll go like something like this, and then connection to here. Now, when we do switching on that, will that work? I don't even know. But hey, this is going to be the first thing that's going to be actually running. And we'll actually be able to see if this works in real time. So that is what I'm going to be excited for. Is that this thing is about to work in real time right in front of me. Right in front of my eyes. I'm about to see and witness the beauty of this machine doing its job. And then remember, this just takes a turn right here. Boom. Pipe it all the way back. Nuclear chemistry. Nuclear physics. Unsaturated. Why is it petroleum gas? That is supposed to be unsaturated hydrocarbons. What the heck? Is this unsaturated hydrocarbons? Okay, now it is. Boom. And once this guy is full at 1,000, yeah, see? So it gets the bare minimum fill of 1,000, and then it's like, oh, we need to send a signal. Hits this, and then it's switched back over to this. So it's on burn mode currently, or it should be on burn mode, but apparently it's not working on burn mode. And I think I can see the reason for that. This guy needs to be on... So one of them... See, now that it's off, it can switch to burn mode. Which I guess burn mode needs us to have a torch, apparently. Even though I said it's a logical dilemma where it does not work. But apparently it does? This doesn't make sense at all. But I guess it's because the logic was inverted from how I thought it was. Because it starts off in the on state. This means that it will stop requesting, and then this will be on, and it will be requesting. So that means that needs to have a torch there. So this time it's not really the default for the torch, but it's more of the inverse of this. But that's how it always is. It's always the inverse of what you want it. See, the torch just inverses, is like saying, oh, this number is now the opposite of what it was. So instead of a 1 being a 1, a 0 is now a 1. And a 1 is now a 0. Which is pretty simple. That is really basic stuff. And the reason that is important to know is because redstone can be binary. It's not really necessarily... If you detect if something is on, that's binary. If you detect if it's off, it's binary. But if you detect when the redstone is a signal strength, that is when you start getting into analog stuff. And I don't really care about that, because that is not the type of computer science I'm into. So, but when you get into computer science on that level and start getting into that stuff, it is really stupid to do. Like, it gets complex. It's not something that's easy. So keep that in mind. There's no easy computer science. I mean, there kind of is. There's a place on top of it. What the heck? Oh no, okay, good. Yeah, there's no easy computer science, so keep that in mind. Well, unless you're programming in some easy programming language, but Shouldn't be any easy computer science here. So now it's time to get this thing to run. That means we're going to have to rearrange our coal, oil, and everything. Which is going to be a lot of work, but hey, it's not like it's a difficult task. It means we'll have to move a couple machines around and do a couple things with that. Then we also need to start figuring out how I'm going to move and do all the piping for this. I mean, it's possible for us to get it done really fast. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab out my vein miner. We're gonna start tearing down all of this stuff, okay? Because this is gonna be a lot of the issue. We're gonna start wiring things and figuring out how I'm gonna do that. Since all of this inside of the base is getting outdated, it's going to need to be updated to the new standards and how it's going to run. And then anything that produces a lot of pollution, we need to deal with that, because obviously, while I can dump all of the stuff into the water and be fine, putting stuff in the air is a little bit different, because then we're dying. We're dying if we put stuff. If you put stuff in the air, you're dying. Okay, it's just simple. It's simple math. I breathe with lungs. Let me put pollution into atmosphere. Herk, bleh, dead. Very basic math. Air, breathe. Pollution, breathe. Bad. Caveman brain. Math. So that's why we'll need to have this thing, which is the only pollution emitting machine here, hooked up to that. Well, besides this one. So we're going to have the pollution pipes just run above everything, because really, if I pipe these through the ground, I'm just going to have a massive headache. And I don't want a massive headache at this time. The other thing we need to deal with is sulfur, but we don't actually even... Well, the sulfur is really simple to deal with. We can just send it off and have it run to the rubber production. But that means now I need to solve zinc for rubber production, which I think we can do next time, probably, is start working on the zinc. Yeah, this will get piped to the base, so we can start working on that. The other thing that needs to get piped out of there, or piped into there, I'm sorry, should be the actual sulfur. This is needed to make rubber, which we need to move all of this stuff we currently have. But I think I'm done for now, so I'm going to stop streaming.